everyone. Thank you for joining us for this brief press conference. We just want to talk about public safety here in Morehouse Parish, and I want to express my appreciation to our Chief Reed sitting next to me and to our Sheriff, Mike Tubbs. And we're just going to reassure the public that safety will not be compromised in this parish nor in the city. Thank you, Sheriff Tubbs. You have always been so supportive, just down through the years. And we are aware that we have a significant aging population and people want to remain safe.
Absolutely. I want to see, as I've told you and I've told the chief, I want to see Bastrop Police continue to thrive. But what we're seeing here with shortage of numbers is not an isolated incident just for Morehouse Parish. I'm with neighboring sheriffs and with sheriffs throughout the state, and getting people to jump in this profession right now is difficult. We just feel the pain right here because this is where we live and where we work. We've always had a strong partnership with Bastrop Police Department. We will continue to do that. I think the only thing people are not so used to seeing, maybe a stronger presence from time to time from the Sheriff's Department. You may live inside the city limits and you're used to seeing a Bastrop police car come. You may see a deputy sheriff car show up. What we've discussed is doing some split shifts with the police department that we can maintain an adequate level of staffing for the city without the parish suffering. I hear that from constituents in Oak Ridge and Bonita. Hey, are you going to pull my deputy to Bastrop? That's not the plan. We're going to work together. We're going to shift some things around to make this work. Hopefully, it's temporary. I just want to see Bastrop Police to continue to grow. I know that Chief has some challenges with civil service. It's a process to be hired at not only here, Monroe Police, West Monroe Police. It takes a little time with the civil service. So we're just going to continue to support the Chief. We monitor each other's radio frequencies. We had an incident, there yesterday. We work it well together, and we continue to do that.
That's right. Absolutely, it is a partnership. And Sheriff Tubbs, you used the word earlier. We are supplementing and supporting each other, not supplanting anything that we are obligated to do. And
That's right.
The key word is, let's not get afraid. Bastrop PD is fixing to disband. That's not what's happening here. We are prioritizing our current situation to ensure the safety and well-being of all of our citizens in our city limits and with the sheriff out in the parish. I think we're really blessed to have a sheriff that is supportive of that same endeavor.
I came from Bastrop Police. My heart's still with Bastrop Police. I wished we were at the numbers of the 90s. When we had a lot of personnel over there, but over the years, the Sheriff's Department has also shrank in numbers, as well as the police department. As I said a while ago, people aren't signing up, for these jobs, and both of us have immediate openings. I tell people I'm hiring every day. I don't have civil service. I can, get you started in the law enforcement career within a couple of days, where it would take the chief maybe a month to get someone up and running. But again, I look forward to it. We get along well. We'll continue to get along well. We just, when speaking with the mayor, we wanted to put out, some facts. There's a lot of misinformation and disinformation that is out there about what's going on. I'm certainly not trying to take over Bastrop Police Department. I want to see them be successful, and we will continue to support the chief as well as the mayor till we get everybody back on their feet.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Chief Reed, we talked about, we got coverage for the weekend, and you want to share that we're going to be safe.
Yes, ma'am. Public safety is the #1 goal. Officer safety as well, and we've looked into everything. The weekend is covered, and collaboration with me and the sheriff, we're going to see to it that everything is covered.
That's right, and we're going to respect all of the proper protocol that is necessary and essential for us to carry on what we raised our hand in oath of office to do. And that's what we're here for, is to keep everybody safe.
No.
I'm gonna do it anyway.
I'm messing with you. No, go
I
ahead.
see a calendar there. Can you explain what the partnership is going to look like? Meaning, during the day, at night, how many deputies would be in city limits, when are there gonna be no or fewer Bastrop police officers? Kind of give me some of the more
We're gonna,
specifics on it.
we're gonna come up with a we're gonna come up with a minimum staffing level that, we're gonna shoot for to have assigned inside the city limits. You know, I've always had personnel in the city, in and around the city, but what we'd established a calendar for is we can, have people, you know, assigned specifically for those days. And the chief has laid it out here for the month of April. You know, we hope that it's under control by then, but if not, we'll just continue. But there'll be assigned personnel. You know, both agencies will know who's working, responding to emergencies in the city. We've always monitored their radio traffic. When we hear serious calls, shots fired type calls, we respond. I have deputies assigned to in and around the city already, and then we do, you know, push them out to our outlying area. So the calendar, so I can set up a time and know when he needs more help from me than normal. So
So, Chief, if you wouldn't mind me asking, how many officers do you have now? How many do you need? And I guess my question is, if you're short officers, will your officers be working during the day or at night, combination of both?
Combination of both, and we're about at 40% now. We were at 50%. We're about at 40% now. So we're suffering a little as far as the numbers are concerned. But we hope to do better real soon.
Also, let me add, we're sensitive that our officers have a life outside of the department, and we're concerned about their health, their well-being, not being overworked and getting into a state of mind of being overworked, fatigue. So we want a healthy department, and I believe we're going to have that. I have no doubt, I have faith that everything's going to work out just fine, and we have two strong officers here, having a sheriff on board supporting us. I just can't thank you enough, Sheriff
Yes, ma'am.
Tubbs, and I can't thank you enough,
You're so
Chief
welcome.
Reed,
You're
because
so welcome.
we have to look at the numbers, we have to look at the well-being of our officers, and above all, the 10,000 plus citizens that live right here in the nucleus of the city of Bastrop.
More questions. One from the sheriff. I've heard the same concern about people outside of Bastrop city limits, concerned about will deputies be drawn towards the city and away from them. Are you going to have to hire any additional deputies, and how can you make sure those other areas are covered as well?
at this point, it won't be necessary to hire additional personnel. With some reassigning, we'll be able to accomplish those tasks. We are able to run a 4-man street crimes unit. It responds to dangerous situations in and outside the city limits, and they're really listening to the city traffic. They hear shots fired call or something like that. Those was 4. Now those 3 deputies go to that scene. So although they're deputy sheriffs, they probably spend 90% of their time inside the city limits. We also have other people in our task force, state partners, that come up and work with us also, and they realize, you know, that additional personnel are needed, and they've always been on board to help.
My last question is, as far as a chain of command will go, let's say, you know, you've got a couple of Bastrop police officers, a couple of sheriff's deputies on the scene. I guess who's going to be in charge of that scene?
That's something that the chief and I, you know, will communicate out. Obviously, the deputy sheriffs work for the sheriff, the police officers work for the chief. Those, you know, those are things that we'll work out on the scene. And we've never had that problem. So
I think with law enforcement, it's just understood that structure of a chain of command, because that's the life of your department, is to respect the rank and file.
Question, Chief. What are you said this is temporary for a month. What are your goals? Are you under the expectation that you can hire additional officers within the next 30 days?
Temporary for a month? No, I said that. I thought you were speaking of that calendar.
Yeah,
So how long?
for
I guess
April.
how long then is this agreement going to be in place for?
As long as we need it to be until we're back to operating standards where we can run efficiently without assistance from the sheriff department.
I prefer the word collaboration, partnership.
Right.
And then now, this is my biggest flaw as a journalist, asking additional questions after I said last question. is the city paying the sheriff's office any amount of money in this contract for?
At this present moment, there is no written paperwork denoting what you just asked. Our first priority is the safety and utilizing the resources that are available at this present moment.
You brought this up to the city council last night. There was no meeting. Are you, I don't want to say overstepping, this is the tough question, but do you need council approval to do this? Because council didn't approve it last night, and now we're just going ahead with it anyway.
We're going ahead to assure the public of safety. That's what I'm going ahead to do as of today. And we will schedule another meeting. But right now, we wanted our public to stay calm so that we won't have a spike in criminal activity. So we're utilizing the resources that are available. We're supporting each other at this present moment. So the details of that would be something that right now you shift into a gear of taking care of what's in the moment in front of you. And that's where we are.
As the mayor said earlier, that fatigue is that's a real issue, and I know Chief Reed hears it from his people. You know, you may have a man that's worked 7 12s or 14 12s, you know, because they all need the overtime and need the money, but we've all been tired, and then we handle things differently when you feel that stress of 12 hours at job. That leaves you 12 hours for sleep and home and family. So, you know, as we started talking about this, trying to, you know, free up some personnel to put individuals in there to really also give them some form of a break. You can make them come to work. You can make them do a lot of things, but, you know, reality, there's agencies throughout the state, in the tri-state area, they're looking for officers. So, again, as the mayor said, the health of our men and women, their mental health, those are things that as police administrators, you know, we have to be conscientious of.
Absolutely. We care about our officers, sheriff department, police officers, deputies. We care.